Okay, now we're getting some clarification about what actually happened with this new search for Lina Keel. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer, everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only, and just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Okay, not very long ago, literally maybe like 45 minutes ago, I posted a video about how there is a new search being conducted by the San Antonio Police Department in the missing case of Lina Keel. Now, I have an original video that goes into the entire situation, and then I have the video that I posted earlier showing the new search. This clip right here is the reason why the intro to that video sounds the way that it does.
Pamela Allen, a local child advocate who has been a liaison for the family after her disappearance, told Case that she was present at a meeting on Wednesday evening between the police department and Keel's father.
Now, I have since gone in and changed the title, changed the thumbnail, and now I'm doing this update because there's a new video where the woman who was actually there during the meeting with the family is now speaking in front of the camera, and we have more clarification on the steps of how this all happened. Now, it is very strange timing. Okay, it is very strange timing because as you're going to hear, because I'm going to play an edited, all the fluffed out version here of this interview with this lady here in a second. But as you're going to hear, the meeting wasn't late last night with the family. It was around like 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. And then at some point after this meeting in the evening hours is whenever this tip came in. The San Antonio Police Department have not been searching that area since this morning. They have been there since last night. Now, again, there was no conversation apparently with her dad or the family members or anybody associated with her in the meeting that they had that had anything to do with this tip. These two things apparently have nothing at all to do with each other. But the timing is odd. The timing is so odd. Apparently, and again, you're going to hear all of this in a second. Apparently, the police was just kind of like checking in with the family because they had heard that the family was getting like more frustrated than they already had been about the lack of communication. And this is not the first, third, or 20th time that we've heard that in this case. There's been a huge problem with communication the entire time. Now, the language barrier doesn't help. And people can feel however they feel about what I'm about to say. If you've been in this country for as long as you've been in this country, as long as these people have been in this country, they should be able to have conversations in the main language of this country without needing translators. And that's all I'm going to say. That's causing a huge issue. Okay. And I understand, speaking in your native tongue or whatever, but whenever you have children here in this country and something like this happens, you'd think after so many years of having your child missing that you would learn English by now. And people are probably going to hate me for that, but I mean, seriously, the whole language barrier thing is a huge problem when it comes to getting evidence out of this case. There's an entire community of people not talking. Because the security camera footage, like not the 18 minutes that's missing from the actual apartment footage itself, but the cameras on the people's doors that caught her in the playground, it shows several children, several adults of varying ages and responsibility, okay, walking around in this camera. And no one wants to say a word. They're not even trying to like validate to the police the exact direction she walked off the playground. Okay. So you have to keep questioning exactly what is really happening versus what's really happening because there's such a huge language barrier. And we can't even really verify that the people that are translating things correctly. Because if her father is sitting here, giving a statement and he doesn't understand the English that the interpreter is in changing his words into, then he can't be like, no, homeboy, that's not what I said. I said this. There's no way for any of that stuff to be validated. That's just the reason why the whole language barrier thing and learning to speak the language of the country that you live in is really important, especially whenever you have situations like this. So now that that rant is over, and most of you guys that had an issue with what I had to say have left, which I'm sure there were a few, but brutal honesty is just what it is. And sometimes people like it, and sometimes people just can't take it. And that's perfectly fine too. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this little interview for you guys. I am going to let you hear some of the details of what she is claiming that they have asked the police about, what kind of equipment and things they're looking for, and then I'll be back.
So there is nothing very detailed, so only they talked with us and they told us that we received a tip last night, so they are here since last night here. So they are waiting for some equipment, so maybe they will receive the equipment, so maybe the search will continue for tomorrow. But they told us that we received tip last night, so they are here since last night here, and they are searching the area. So they are waiting for certain kind of equipment, so when they will receive, they will start their search.
Hello, I'm Pamela Allen. I'm the CEO of Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach. I'm also the advocate for the family of Lina. They received a tip. They've been here since last night, and they are waiting for equipment. When I asked them about what type of equipment, because we have so many that have the ability to dig, they said that's not the type of equipment that they were waiting for. When I asked again, what type of equipment, is it something that maybe can take an x-ray, they said yes. So they're waiting for something to be able to see what's under the dirt. For those of you who've been following the case, you know that this was one of the first areas that we searched. Also, I know SAPD came back here and searched this area as well. But Dad has been through this area. I think it was the second week after Lina went missing. There was a meeting yesterday with Riaz Luong, another translator, a member of the Afghani Council, and myself. February 20th, Lina will be turning 6. Dad is very frustrated. The family is very saddened by the fact that she has been missing for 2 years. They are looking for a body. We still get tips. There was a Afghani little girl's body, an Afghani little girl that was found up in Canada. And it's something that they followed up on. I'm going to tell you, this father's heart is broken. Anytime that there's a roundup of sexual predators and they put that on the news, he'll take a screenshot, send it to me, and say, but did they ask about Lina? And so he continues to search. He continues to look for answers. And I will tell you all that one thing that they're very grateful for is that media has stayed with this story, so they continue to push and continue to search for their daughter. It was a meeting that SAPD reached out to the family for, because again, they had heard concerns of Riaz, who is Lina's father. They had some concerns about the communication, so they called the meeting, and there was quite a few people there, and it was a very welcomed meeting just to exchange information. The tip was received last night. They have been there. They told us that they have been here since last night, and they plan on being here for a while to wait for the equipment. It was in the evening, and the meeting that we had over at SAPD headquarters was a little after 10. Lina's mother is just been very distraught over this, and so Riaz does take care of her and covers her, and so this has been extremely difficult for the mother.
They're looking for something that can x-ray the ground. Okay, now we saw the dogs running around in the first video that I posted, and we know that they've been there since last night. Now, like I mentioned in the first one, there is preliminary things that have to happen here in order for the next steps to start being taken. So if they got there last night, and then this morning we're seeing literally crime scene, FBI, every agency that's ever been involved, and canines running around, okay, that means there's a reason for them to be doing that. There's testing and stuff being done of dirt samples, most likely, which is why there's like small shovels and things outside. We actually learned a lot about those kinds of processes during the Noel case. The little boy from Everman, Texas, that I was covering while I was still living in that part of the area. Yeah, they had to test soils, and they had to do x-rays of the ground and do all kinds of testing. And it sounds like the same sort of processes is what's going to be going on here. They didn't want to be very specific about what they were looking for, but to say that they need need something that lets them look deep down into the dirt, that's really saying a lot. Now, again, I just find the timing odd that the family's been frustrated with communication the very day that the police department decides to have a close communicated, conversation with the family face to face. Just a few hours later, this crazy tip comes in, and now look where we are today. I just hope, like I said, also that we are actually finally coming to the end of this situation. Hopefully, there's some answers. Now, of course, they're not the answers that we want to hear at all. And it's really been something on my mind from the beginning, her mother. Okay, because, she was pregnant. She was pregnant when this happened. And since Lina went missing, they've had the child. Now, I don't know if she's gotten pregnant and they've had another baby after this one baby, but I can't imagine being a mom who's having a child and you're supposed to feel like, the happiness, and you're supposed to be trying to be close with your new baby while you're also sitting here basically mourning the loss of your other child, worried about where she is, if she's still alive, where she could possibly be. I mean, it's just really, really sad. They never really got to enjoy the new baby. And, from the interview, it sounds like the mom still isn't doing very good, which you can't blame her. And the dad, he's been really just in the case the entire time. He's never once been not cooperative from what it sounds like. He's been harassed. There's been people that would throw stuff at their doors. It's been horrible. It's been really, really horrible for them. And I've always seen lots and lots of emotion from the father. You don't need to know someone's language to understand what they're emoting. And even though I don't understand a single word this man says whenever he talks, you can hear the emotion. You can read it in his face. He's been on camera crying his eyes out. He's there at the scene, as you guys see. He's there now trying to figure out exactly what's going on. He's frustrated and he just wants answers. At least that's how I see it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong thousands of times in my life. They could have something to do with it. I just don't feel that way. That's the vibe I get from this. But that is it for the updates for now. I just wanted to come out here and clarify the timeline and what was actually happening, because that one clip, when they broke in to try to explain what they knew about what was going on, about how all of this started after a late night meeting with her father, it gave it this one, it gave it a tone. You know what I mean? It gave it a tone. And I was glad whenever this came out because it made it settle down some. But again, guys, the timing is strange. The timing is strange. They have a meeting with the family. Then a few hours later, this tip comes in, and now they're waiting on an x-ray machine because they think there's a body to look for. Insane. But that is it for now, you guys. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. See y'all.